Imagine living a life free of financial worry, a life where you control your money, not the other way around. This is the power of budgeting. It's a tool, a guide to help you navigate the financial maze of life. It's about knowing where your money is going and making conscious decisions about how to spend it. Now you might be thinking, budgeting, isn't that just for accountants or people with a lot of money? Or maybe, isn't budgeting restrictive? I don't want to live my life counting pennies. But here's the thing, these are common misconceptions. Budgeting isn't about restriction, it's about freedom. Freedom from worry, from living paycheck to paycheck. It's not complicated, it doesn't require a degree in finance. All it takes is a little time, a little discipline, and a plan. The truth is, budgeting is your ticket to financial freedom. It's about making your money work for you. So, what exactly is budgeting? Well, it's simpler than you think. Let's imagine your income as a pie. Yes, a delicious, mouth-watering pie. Now, budgeting is simply deciding how you're going to slice that pie. Each slice represents a different category of your spending, such as housing, food, entertainment, and savings. Now, think of your income as the total size of the pie. Your expenses are the slices you cut out. The goal is to ensure that the size of your slices doesn't exceed the size of the pie. In other words, you're aiming to spend less than you earn. But it's not just about tracking what comes in and goes out. It's also about planning how to use your money effectively. You're deciding in advance how you're going to spend your money, which gives you control over your financial life. Instead of letting your money control you, you're the one holding the reins. There are different ways to slice your budgeting pie. Let's talk about a couple of popular methods: zero-based budgeting and the 50-30-20 rule. Zero-based budgeting is like a tailor-made suit, custom fit to your income and expenses. Every dollar you earn has a job. You assign every dollar to a category until you're left with zero. It's an incredibly detailed and hands-on approach. On the other hand, the 50-30-20 rule is a little more flexible. This rule suggests you allocate 50% of your income to needs like rent and groceries. 30% goes to wants like dining out or a Netflix subscription. The remaining 20% is tucked away into savings or used to pay off debt. Both methods have their pros and cons, and the best one for you depends on your personal circumstances and financial goals. Regardless of the method you choose, the purpose of budgeting remains the same: to help you manage your money better. By giving every dollar a job, you're taking charge of your financial future. So are you ready to start slicing your pie? Budgeting doesn't have to be intimidating. Here's a simple step-by-step guide to get you started. Step 1. Identifying income. The first step in any budgeting process is to figure out how much money you have coming in. This includes all sources of income, from your job, any side hustles, and passive income streams. It's crucial to have a clear picture of your total income, as it sets the foundation for your budget. Step 2. Listing expenses. Next, you'll need to list out all your expenses. Start with your fixed expenses. These are bills that don't change much from month to month, like your rent or mortgage, utilities, and car payments. Then, move on to your variable expenses. These are costs that can fluctuate from month to month, like groceries, dining out, entertainment, and personal care items. Make sure to include occasional expenses too, like annual insurance premiums or car maintenance costs. Step 3. Setting goals. Now that you've got a clear picture of your income and expenses, it's time to set some financial goals. Perhaps you're saving for a vacation, paying down debt, or working towards a down payment on a house. Whatever your goals may be, write them down and prioritize them. Remember, your budget is a tool to help you reach these goals. Step 4. Creating a plan. Here's where the magic happens. Subtract your total expenses from your total income to see where you stand. If you have money left over, great. You can allocate this towards your financial goals. If you're in the red, don't panic. Look for areas where you can cut back. Maybe you're spending more than you thought on takeout, or perhaps that gym membership isn't getting used as much as you'd like. The key here is to make your budget work for you. Step 5. Tracking and adjusting. The final step is to track your spending and adjust your budget as needed. Keep a close eye on where your money is going and make sure it's aligning with your budget. If not, it's time to adjust. Maybe your utility bills were higher than expected, or perhaps you underestimated your grocery costs. That's okay. Adjustments are a normal part of the budgeting process. And there you have it. A simple step-by-step guide to budgeting. Remember, budgeting is not about restriction, it's about understanding where your money is going and making conscious decisions about how to spend it. It's about taking control of your financial future. Remember, a budget isn't set in stone, it's a living, breathing plan that changes as your life and financial situation change. So don't be afraid to tweak your budget as needed. After all, it's your money, and you get to decide how to use it. Happy budgeting. Budgeting can be tricky, and it's easy to make mistakes, but don't worry, we're here to help you avoid them. Let's dive right in. One of the most common mistakes is not accounting for all expenses. We often remember the big things like rent and groceries, but what about that occasional coffee treat or the monthly streaming service? These small purchases add up over time and can derail your budget if not accounted for. So, it's crucial to track every penny and include all expenses, big or small, in your budget. Another frequent misstep is not having a contingency fund. Life is unpredictable, and unexpected expenses can arise at any time. Your car might need repairs, or you might face a medical emergency. Without a contingency fund, these unexpected costs can throw your entire budget off track. So it's wise to set aside a portion of your income each month for unexpected expenses. This way, you'll be prepared for whatever life throws your way. Then there's the mistake of setting your budget and forgetting it. A budget is not a set it and forget it thing. It needs to be flexible and adaptable because our financial situation can change frequently. Did you get a raise at work? That's great, but don't forget to adjust your budget accordingly. Did your expenses increase? It's time to revisit your budget. Regularly reviewing and adjusting your budget will ensure it always accurately reflects your current financial situation. Lastly, many people fall into the trap of making their budget too strict. While it's important to be disciplined, being too restrictive can lead to frustration and make you more likely to abandon your budget altogether. Try to find a balance between saving and spending that works for you. Remember, a budget is a tool to help you manage your money, not a punishment. Avoiding these mistakes will put you on the path to successful budgeting. So, keep these common pitfalls in mind, and you'll be well on your way to mastering the art of budgeting. Let's wrap up with some key takeaways about budgeting. Budgeting, as we've seen, is a powerful tool. It's not just about numbers and spreadsheets, it's about gaining control over your finances, and ultimately, over your life. It's about understanding where your money goes and making conscious decisions about how you want to spend it. The beauty of budgeting lies in its simplicity. You don't need a degree in finance to create a budget. All you need is a clear understanding of your income and expenses. Break them down into categories, allocate funds accordingly, and track your spending. It's as straightforward as that. The budgeting process, while simple, requires discipline and consistency. Start by setting clear financial goals. Then, create a plan to achieve these goals. This plan is your budget. Stick to it, adjust it as necessary, and you'll see progress over time. However, beware of common budgeting mistakes. Don't underestimate your expenses or overestimate your income. Don't forget to account for irregular expenses and don't neglect to include savings in your budget. Remember, a budget is a living, breathing document. It should reflect your current financial situation and adjust as your circumstances change. The benefits of budgeting are manifold. It gives you a sense of financial control. It helps you avoid debt or work your way out of it. It leads you towards financial independence. And perhaps most importantly, it brings you peace of mind. Knowing that you have a plan for your money, that you're working towards your financial goals, can relieve a great deal of stress. Budgeting is not a restriction, but a liberation. It's not about denying yourself pleasures, but about making thoughtful decisions on what you value most. It's not about living frugally, but living within your means. It's about making your money work for you, not the other way around. Remember, budgeting is your tool for financial success. Use it wisely and you'll be on your way to a worry-free financial future.